more.
Okay, we're going.
Okay, hello you guys, Tasha here, your upline diamond, and I am so excited to introduce Albina to you guys. Albina is a very close friend and a business partner since 2014, was it? Long time now.
Over 7 years.
Mm-hmm. Over 7 years and counting. And so Albina is a mom. She has homeschooled her kids and currently still homeschool her kids. She's a wife. And amazing friend and leader. She has been doing doTERRA with she's kind of beautifully married her doTERRA business into her birth professional business, which she's a certified doula. And over the years, I've just watched her just organically move everything into this seamless, beautiful thing. That's what it looks like from the outside anyway. I'm sure it's taken some, lots of bumps here and there, but I'm really happy to introduce her to you. And thank you, Albina, for coming on and sharing your wisdom with these midwives and doulas. And so we're going to record this call. So if anyone missed it, then feel free to take a listen. I'm going to just close my video and I will hand it over to Albina. Thank you, Albina.
Awesome. Thanks, Tosh. This is fun. This is almost like a dream come true, but gosh, we can live out our dreams if we just take those steps of faith and actually take little steps to get closer, and you see how things just start aligning. And that's kind of been what's happening in my life. Let me share my screen because I have some pretty visuals for you because I'm a huge visual. There we go. And I remember better if I have a visual in front of me. So that's why I have this visual for you guys. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so this hopefully 30 minutes maximum, brief amount of time. We're going to focus on essential oils for birth workers. My name is Albina Kozlov. And just a little introduction. As birth workers, I believe that we're given the incredible honor of being being involved in a women's birth or being invited into a women's birth space. It's a sacred trust and one we can carry with deep respect. In those powerful moments of labor, we don't just show up, we bring tools and support her mind, body, and spirit. One of my favorite tools is, of course, essential oils. And when it comes to purity and effectiveness, I choose doTERRA, always have. Their oils are the only ones I trust in my home now for over 7 years. And I love the fact that I can trust that they would work for the moms that I work with, their babies, and everyone in the room. So today I'll share how doTERRA oils can bring calm, focus, comfort during pregnancy, birth, and postpartum, supporting women in the moments they need it most. A little bit about me. I am a Ukrainian-born woman raised in the Pacific Northwest. We immigrated when I was 8 years old, and I met Tasha when we lived in Hawaii on Captain Cook on Hawaii Island. Then we had a little bit of time on Maui as well. So we were there for a few years, and in that beautiful time, I remember meeting her in an essential oil class that I had no idea that's what I was there for. I thought I was there just for a fun women's tea hangout. And then there was this doula essential oil woman there with a baby strapped on her, inviting us into this world of essential oils, which was super foreign to me. I had my own superstitious understandings and ideas of it. And it definitely was interesting. It was new to me. I loved the fact that she was a doula, and I had already been working in the birth world as a nursing assistant and secretary in labor and birth here in NICU for quite some time before moving to Hawaii. So the fact that she was a doula was something that really attracted me to her. And the fact that she was talking about oils so passionately stirred my curiosity, but I knew that there's no way essential oils could do what she was claiming that they could do. And of course, 3 years exactly after then, we had our major aha moment with a natural remedy, which was just garlic drops for my daughter's ear. That was one, and it just 180-degree difference overnight. She was better, and it just like all of heavens opened up, and I understood, like it all made sense. Everything that she had told me 3 years before then about essential oils and plants and all the things, it all just kind of aligned and made sense. The puzzle pieces took their place in the puzzle of my life. And so we began our journey, our wellness journey as a family, just learning a little bit, applying it, learning more and applying it, learning more and applying it. And yeah, just like I said, we've now been with essential oils in our medicine cabinet for over 7 years, and now using it within this birth worker profession is just such a joy. I'm a wife of 21 years almost, and a mom of 4 daughters. My oldest is graduating this week out of Bible college, actually, and my youngest is 6. And I've been a doula now for a year and a half. And I love the fact that I could have waited, for as long as I needed to for my daughter to grow up and be a little bit more independent. And now I could do overnights and all the things with being a doula. I call myself semi-crunchy because I still like my chocolate cake that's not made out of avocado and all the things, but I definitely, there's a lot of crunchiness in me. So learn as we go. All right, so the timeline for this call is very focused. I'm a very task list oriented person, and I do give myself freedom, but I'm trying to learn to do things with excellence in everything that I do. I want it to be weighty. I want you to come away out of this call just feeling super, super excited, empowered, and just your knowledge to be much more enriched. So I'm going to share practical ways that you could take care of your patients in all these different stages in their pregnancy. When we introduce doTERRA, we can introduce doTERRA essential oils to women as we meet them prenatally, obviously in labor and birth, and how to incorporate the essential oils in the labor and the birth, postpartum, how we can empower moms to use her oils for recovery and for her baby. And then of course, family health, because these babies are growing up and moms are wanting to know, they already trust you and they want to know how and what can we do for all the little hiccups that come along in family health. So educating them on how to incorporate the essential oils in her family's health and wellness routines. And then of course, sharing, and that's just a natural way of connecting moms to her own doTERRA account to purchase her own oils and have her own little stash. And then I like to say crunchy building, and that's just encouraging moms to share their experiences with their circle, friends, their communities to get their products paid for, and even potentially earn a residual income. So the resources that I rely on, and so far that I use, I'm sure there's tons of other ones that other people use as well, but these are my 2 staples. I like to not go broad, I like to go deep. And so obviously we have Stephanie Fritz's book here, and she also has an updated version that is virtually only. And this goes everything from fertility or infertility to postpartum and baby care and all the things. And there's recipes in it and all that kind of stuff. So that's my resource. And then my newer one is this Essential Oils for Maternal Wellness Spiral Bound book by Stephanie McBride. All right. So starting out with pregnancy, this is, I'm just going to share like how I do things and invite you into like reflecting on how potentially it could mesh into the way that you do things. So essential oils are tools that can be used to support mom in her prenatal months. And usually when I meet with the mom for doula support, I make sure that I ask her, first of all, if she is using essential oils in her home, what her experience is like, if she's open to it and so forth. And a lot of times, when, actually, I'll talk about that a little bit later. So one of the first things that I will give to her as just part of what I do is just this little roller that doesn't cost me that much to make, but I make it intentionally with a blend that I call Relax and Calm. I believe it's from Stephanie Fritz's book. So it's these 8 Roman chamomile drops, copaiba, frankincense, and bergamot. And it's just an essential oil roller bottle that's 10 milliliters. Top it off with fractionated coconut oil. And that is something that once we have our time of learning how to breathe in labor, and I give her, usually this is something I give her about at 36 weeks, 35 to 37, kind of in that time frame, but I usually meet with them a month before their due date. So at that 36-week mark, I give them this roller bottle, and after she's learned and we've practiced breathing techniques, I give her an assignment, and the assignment is for her to sit down every single evening and roll this roller bottle on her palms, roll it on the back of her neck, rub her hands together, and just sit there with a Spotify track that I sent to her and breathe intentionally. Get really calm and used to her breathing rhythm, but also allow those essential oils to have their the effect and the benefits on her nervous system, on her brain, on her whole entire body. And so by doing that every single day leading up to delivery, that will establish a memory in her mind, which we know that our sense of smell is the strongest sense that we have. And so then when labor comes and she is actually actively starting to labor and have her rhythm and pattern, she can go back to the same essential oil blend, do the same exact thing, and her body will connect that memory of being calm in a quiet room, breathing, practicing her breathing. It will help her cope with the first stages of labor, just with the simple essential oil roller. Of course, she can use this roller anytime during the day when her mood and nervous system is going up or down. But before that 36-week mark, as needed, I do this very, very organically, like Tasha said. And as needed, when a mom says, hey, these are, either she brings it up or I ask her if she has not brought it up, but things like, having digestion discomfort. So she's feeling like, the baby is like cramming up all of her intestines and she's having a harder time using the restroom, or she's feeling a lot more, stuffy or having some heartburn. So these are the things that I will recommend to her. And those are digestin tabs and the TerraZyme, plant enzymes for digestion. I have had such great feedback about the digestin tabs instead of the Tums that people are usually used to, that it's like a must have. For cellular health, On Guard soft gels is something that I highly recommend. If a mom tells me that she's starting to feel sick, or people in her family are sick, or she's going to travel, highly suggest for her to use the On Guard Plus soft gels. Obviously, Lifelong Vitality Pack or the VMG Plus on a daily rhythm, if she's not already taking supplements that she's like crazy about and she sees that they're working for her. And then frankincense is like that apple a day keeps the doctor away. So frankincense just under the tongue every single day, at least one time, is something that I will suggest if she is looking for like the prime care for herself during pregnancy. DDR prime is something really cool that I'm still I'm watching. My personality is that I will not believe the thing you tell me right away unless I've actually researched it or experienced it for myself. And so that's why it took me so long with essential oils, because I really had to watch people and do my research and then finally try them. But DDR prime is stands for damaged DNA repair, right? It's an essential oil blend that comes in a soft gel or a loose oil. And this is a blend that I believe you can clearly use for your immune system support. But if there's anything a little bit off, like in the beginning of pregnancy, I have my moms get on it right away and take it every single day. And I have actually seen, and I don't know if this is coincidence or not, but I've seen in my own experience that things like, oh, your baby's just growing a little too slow, or there's a concern for not enough amniotic fluid or whatever, all these like funky hiccups that could happen in the first trimester. When I had moms get on the DDR prime and actually be consistent with it, those things were just written off, and it never, like second trimester on, it never was a concern again. And so it actually gives me goosebumps talking about it, because I believe that we have such powerful tools with the essential oils that people are actually like researching, praying for, hoping for to find, and we have them available. And so it just gives me so much more like confidence to share them in this organic way, because these are the the tools that the people are looking for, right? Body aches, obviously pregnancy can bring a lot of different types of aches. Deep Blue Stick is my favorite to go to because it is already copaiba and Deep Blue combined together in a very convenient application. And that could be applied to like restless legs and low back pain. That can be, those are the two things that come to mind. Those are the most common. Obviously, copaiba and Deep Blue, if they don't have the stick, to just use as an actual just oil application. And then the last is energy and sleep. Clearly, that's going to be a concern in different times of pregnancy for different people in different ways. But wild orange and peppermint are just the most simple, common, most awesome, not complicated essential oils to use together that are highly across the line, just loved by most people. It's not going to be like your lavender that you're going to have people tell you, oh, I get headaches from lavender, even though that's not the pure lavender that they're trying. But wild orange and peppermint together, diffused in a diffuser in their home, or you can make a little blend for them to try first before, even just inhaling from the palm of their hands is something that is a good way to start their day if they're lacking energy or just having that drowsy first month. Obviously, balance is a must have, especially if the mom has other children and she's pregnant with number 2, 3, or 4, and she's having others rely on her energy. Balance is going to be that blend that's going to really help her ground. And so really building that confidence in her that like she does have a tool that actually works. If she's never seen the video on YouTube of how balance works within the blood cells and the effect it has and the benefit it has, that's a great one to show. And then serenity as well, that one for sleep and just unwinding at the end of the night is what I recommend for my clients. Moving on to labor and birth. So the blend that I have, and I actually have it in a essential oil bottle with a spray top. And I like this as a spray because I can use it for multiple patients rather than a roller. But this one will be in my little kit that I bring with me. And it is these oils listed on here. And this is a pretty powerful essential oil blend for just soothing those labor pains, especially in the low back, and it's pretty potent and powerful. I really enjoyed it a lot, and so have my clients. In labor, balance is one that I use a ton. Balance is one that I use with my 4th. She was my only one that I had essential oils for during birth, but balance is something that you can use aromatically in the room. So either in a diffuser or apply topically, like I will rub her feet with balance. A lot of times I'll put it on the back of her neck, kind of on that brainstem area, or just simply put it on her hands. So when she's moving them around, she can kind of inhale as she's breathing. Peppermint is one that closer to the end of labor, so close to delivery. Peppermint I have found to really help open up the airways when she's almost hyperventilating and like maybe losing it a little bit. Peppermint is one that if she can focus on just inhaling deep breaths of this mint aromatically, and a lot of times I'll either put just a bottle in front of her nose, or I used something called a nasal inhaler. So it's kind of like this. I'll talk about it on the next slide a little bit more, but she can really put that into her nose and inhale, and it will open up her airways and help her get those bigger breaths in. Peppermint is also amazing for nausea in labor, and I've seen it work so great when the mom is starting to feel nauseous, and we have her breathe some peppermint, and it leaves. And Malama is just my absolute number 1 favorite aroma blend that doTERRA has. Definitely not a medicinal like blend that I at least use it for, but when we arrive to our birthing room, I love to put Malama on. Of course, every time that I put a blend on or an oil in the diffuser, I check with the mom, because as we know, you could love one thing before you're in labor, and then in labor, you absolutely hate it. So I'll come up to her and I'll just open Malama and I'll say, do you want this one? Or I'll use balance as well, because as you know, when you arrive in a different room, labor can stall. And so I'll say, do you like the smell of this one? or do you like the smell of this one? And almost 100% of the time they'll say Malama. And so we start with Malama, as it is just this opening and inviting aroma that fills the air. And usually people just go crazy about it because it smells so good. And so do I. And then the last one is clary sage. And clary sage is, as you probably already know, it's a really great oil to help strengthen contractions once they're already there. So either applying them topically, or we've used them aromatically as well. This is a great oil to have on hand for labor and birth. So these are the tools that I use in birth. Cotton balls are a very convenient, quick, easy, cost-effective way to use essential oils. And all you do, I don't have one here right now, but I'll just put in whatever blend or oil, single oil that I want on that cotton ball. And the cool thing is you can take this cotton ball into the bathtub. If she's in the bathroom in a hospital setting, you can give it to her. If she's feeling nauseous, she can inhale this cotton ball. You can if there are people that are sensitive to oils in the room, cotton ball is right next to mom's face usually. And you can really put any oil you want on there. And that's what I really like about cotton balls. And they're also just super easily accessible. Obviously a diffuser is like a must have. This is my favorite diffuser to have in labor and birth. I have this one specifically, doTERRA's Roam diffuser, because it is portable. So I'll put the diffuser in a room and have it on charger. But if mom is going from the room to a different space, I will move the diffuser closer to her. And it's very quiet, very solid diffuser, works for quite some time, and then I'll just refill it as needed. And then these nose inhalers is what I was showing you. They also have them in different colors if you are into colors, but this is really cool if you've never seen this before. These are just plastic, but on the inside, there's a cotton wick, I don't know, tampon looking thing. And you just put whatever oils you want on there. It has an opening on the top, and all you do is I will actually have these prepped for the mom, specific ones for her birth, and then they will be hers and she will get to keep them. So clearly she'll have a brand new one she can stick into her nose and inhale. And she's the cool thing about these is that she is the only one that is smelling this aroma. And if you have staff or other people in the room that are either sensitive, or let's say in hospital settings, like I support births in all the different settings. Haven't done an outdoor one yet, but all the indoor settings. But sometimes in hospital settings, at least here in the PNW, they are very strict about scents and smells and all the things. And so if we come across stuff that is like that, or a hospital that has like strict policies, these in-nose inhalers are my go-to, because we clearly are not allowed to put in a full diffuser because of whatever reasons. And so we'll use nose inhalers, and those work really, really well. The blend I actually for sure have on a nose inhaler for every mom is the blend that she had on her roller blend for home. If you remember when I was talking about the very first right here, relax and calm, this one that I give her. So this is an aroma that she's already used to. And if she, let's say, doesn't use any oils at all, and this is the only blend that she's very comfortable with, and it brings her memory of being home and calm, clearly I'm going to want that in this nose inhaler for her to experience the same thing in this new setting. The other thing is you can take the cotton balls and these nose inhalers into C-section rooms, and you can't with a diffuser. All right, and then postpartum. So postpartum is pretty simple, but my two go-tos and are Clary Calm or Rest and Restore. So Clary Calm is a blend that you can get directly from doTERRA. It's formulated, it's a roller blend, 10 milliliters of an essential oil roller, essential oils in a roller blend that is just essential oils, no fractionated coconut oil, but the oils in there are, first of all, smells so pleasant, but they are really great for supporting that uterine recovery. So the contractions postpartum in the uterus, because it has that clary sage in there. It's great for hormonal support, and also just emotional support, as well as just calming the belly down later on after pregnancy. So recovery for that. And then Rest and Restore is kind of a DIY version of It's definitely not Clary Calm, but it's one that will help with just that achiness after delivery. So lavender, white fir, or you can use Siberian fir, frankincense, and copaiba. But as you can see, there's quite a bit of drops, and that's because it's basically 1-to-1. So it's a pretty potent blend. And then the other thing that I have available that I just kind of do on the side is I have this baby care kit, and there are 10 different essential oil blends that are heavily diluted with fractionated coconut oil that are targeted to specific things. And so usually if a mom's like, hey, I'm really into this oil thing, or I already use oils, but I want this care kit, I have them that I will provide to them at an additional cost. Because tummy things do happen, and mom's breasts do need support and all the things, right? So that's something really helpful as well. And then just to kind of finish off the family health aspect, just like that baby care kit, when we work with parents and we get all this trust through this beautiful, such an essential part and vulnerable part of their life or experience of their life, there's this connection that is made, and they trust you, they trust me to be able to tell them like, hey, this actually works, you should try this. And so when it comes to family health later on, whether it's tummy or later on it's teething or immune systems or anything like that, this is a really beautiful way to just interweave other remedies or oils that doTERRA has for family health. And then just like I mentioned before, once that happens, it's very gradual and natural for our mom to get her own account and start ordering on her own. And then I always encourage them to share with other family members or girlfriends. And that's just how it is in the baby world. Like once you have a bottle that works, or once you have a carrier that works for you or something else, you're going to be naturally sharing and just breaking off that whole MLM mentality of like, oh, well, you make money off of it. No, like, honey, this works and you should get it, and this is how you get it. And by just using your own link to do that, you can get your oils paid for. So that's a really organic, or I call it crunchy, way of building doTERRA. And of course, you know, that will end with a fraction of the moms being interested in more than that. And that is, hey, I'm staying at home. Like when I transitioned out of labor and birth in our local hospital and started building doTERRA, just to have my own income at home, to be able to homeschool my children, to raise my little one. And it's just so natural that a lot of moms are looking for this. So I just want to thank you. I don't know how long. Oh, it was exactly 30 minutes. Perfect. Here's my email address, my phone number, my Instagram handle, and my website. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm also on Telegram, and I would be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
That was great, Albina.
Thanks.
I loved it. So I actually had a question about what's your way of maybe introducing some of these therapies to women. I mean, do you first meet them at around 36 weeks if you're going to be their birth doula, or are you seeing them prenatally? How's that working?
So are you saying if I meet them at 36 weeks, or do I meet them earlier?
I'm guessing that you meet them sometime prenatally. Maybe it is only at 36 weeks and then at the birth, but yeah, how do you introduce this as a adjunctive therapy?
Yeah, so when I usually meet with them and we sign our contracts before 36 weeks. At 36 weeks is when I give them that assignment of you need to use this oil every night and practice your breathing. But before then is when I obviously stay in touch with them weekly. And then unless they mention different hurdles that they're approaching, I'll ask on my own and say, how's your digestion working? How's your sleep? And so when they tell me their pain point, that's when I say, oh, well, there's this that I know works for us. If you ever are looking for remedies, there's this. And so a lot of times, most of the time people are pretty open right away to have a link in the order, or they already have a doTERRA account and they get it. If they're not right away, they will come back in a few weeks or a month or so and be like, hey, what was that you were saying that works? I'm ready to try it. So, yeah.
Great.
I think one thing that I did not mention that I do want to mention is that, you know, with my experience now working more with midwives, I see that they're very well versed in the homeopathics and herbs, but essential oils is something they're not very well versed in, at least here in the PNW, and they're almost scared of them. And so are moms and other people that are not in the profession. You know, you're kind of, you shy away from things you're not confident about. And so I think like my deep passion for our area and the midwives that I work with here is like, these actually work. Let's try them on your health and your life. So then you can become a believer and be able to share them with your clients or your patients. Because yeah, they only know kind of one side of things when it comes to
Right.
natural remedies.
I think that's true. I was really very reticent to recommend internal use of essential oils until I was introduced to doTERRA specifically and knew of their purity and their testing. That's a complete game changer. And for me, I feel much more confident that that is a really safe therapeutic for pregnancy and can be also used internally. But I always felt comfortable diffusing, and I've used these oils diffused for many years and felt safe about that. But as you become more, as I have become more aware of the testing and the product line, I'm more and more excited about adding that in for clients.
For sure. And I would add even to that, as you use them on yourself.
Yes.
Like for myself, I know that, you know, the people that I've been a doula to that are my friends or they're in my community, they clearly know I've been doing this for a long time and they trust me. And so those are the clients that were definitely 100% ready to have me drop copaiba under their tongue in labor for either headache or because she was starting to really panic at whatever moment, or frankincense on their baby's neck, you know, right after birth or something like that. So it is all about, you know, knowing the sourcing, but also seeing how it works for you.
Yes.
Before you share.
Yes, awesome. I also come from a family of 4 girls. I'm the second of 4.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's funny because I wonder if we talked about that last time because my Sarah, I have a Sarah with an H and she's my second out of 4 too.
Oh, really? Maybe we did talk about it before. Yeah. That's great.
That's cool. She's 15.
Oh.
All right. Well, if anybody else have any questions?
Albina, also on the call is Evita, who is primarily a body worker, and Nina, who's a midwife. And I don't know if they do have any questions. I know they joined later. I shared with them that we have a recording of this, but I just wanted to ask if they had any specific questions or maybe sharing oils that you've used a lot, or if you want to share anything. I'm glad you were able to join.
Hi, hi. Thank you for having me. This is Avita. I got in the middle of the call, but I'm mainly wondering, as far as prenatal massage, which are the best ones to go to. When I've chatted with Margaret, I know that she's mentioned myrrh or sage as far as just on the belly. But I was curious as far as like the protocol with like prenatal massage, as far as if there's any that we shouldn't use, you know, that could cause nausea or anything, or any that are optimal for that.
That's a great question. And I absolutely love body work so much. I have a body work friend here that I'm trying to get out a little bit more into the prenatal world because we need more body workers. So thank you for doing what you do, first of all. Second of all, second of all, you know, from being with doTERRA for as long as I have, and I don't know, Tasha, maybe you have something to add, but it feels like the 2 biggest oils that we are told that are, you know, nobody does studies on pregnant women But the two oils that will, for some women, have a adverse effect in whatever time that they use them, obviously in the wrong timing, but clary sage for potentially bringing up, strengthening contractions, or peppermint for potentially decreasing milk supply. And those are kind of the two that within doTERRA land, we are told to kind of stay away from as much, but I will end that thought on the fact that every mom's body, every person's body has a different response to essential oils. So for me, and so this before, believe me or not, but copaiba actually put me into labor, and I will never ever think otherwise. I was 38 weeks pregnant and was using copaiba. I don't even know for what, probably aches and pains, but it actually started labor. And then it would stop midnight. And then once I realized it, it wasn't a placebo effect. I actually realized it. I stopped using it, didn't have any labor symptoms till I was due. So it's almost like, is copaiba known to, or should it start any contractions or labor? No, but it definitely did for me. So it's like what I tell my clients is like, start little and then just use it if you don't see any negative signs or labor signs. We do come across so many different articles that talk about stay away from this one and this one, but they're not referring to doTERRA's oils. So it's, I don't know. I would just say Stephanie Fritz's book is kind of like my resource, and the other book that I shared in the beginning, those are my resources and what I go to. So I could look it up for you and see what she said as far as like massage, and there's
This one.
yeah, that
Oh,
one.
okay.
Mhm.
I'll have to get that one. That's great.
Yeah, she has like an updated version that actually Tasha told me about, and it's a virtual, it's like an online version that has a lot more like recipes and blends for different things. But I would just say finding one personally, I would just say finding one and sticking with it if you're trying to achieve the same thing of like relaxed muscles or anything like that. Obviously with body work comes breech babies probably, and kind of helping moms. So there are different techniques, and I believe in that book she talks about having one oil on the top, so a colder one on the top, a warmer one on the bottom, to encourage baby to turn. And I think that's an art of its own that you can explore.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hope that was-
And Albina, Avita missed your combo of the relax and calm, but that might be of interest, and it's in the recording, but it was chamomile, copaiba, frankincense, and bergamot.
Okay. And it's all
But I
blended?
don't know, she mixes it. Albina
Okay.
mixes it, but I also wonder, like, I had a client who just absolutely did not like bergamot.
Yeah.
So you might not want to mix it, but you could share some of the scents that are commonly known to be relaxing, and see how they resonate with them.
Yeah, I would say like for just to achieve relaxation, balance is like, I don't think I've ever met anyone that does not like balance. And it's actually really, really beneficial too. So balance is a good one. In that relax and calm, the smallest proportion is the bergamot. So it only has 4 drops versus like 8 and 6 on the other 4 oils. So even if someone doesn't like it, and the cool thing is that in your, sunny space where you live, bergamot is not, what is it called?
Photosensitive.
Photosynthetic was like photosynthetic. No, that's not the right word. It's not photosensitive, so potentially it could be an option, but bergamot is just not bergamot, sorry. Balance is just like try
Balance
that.
is right there, Avita, if you want to smell it. It's in the tray.
Actually, right over here. Let me
Yeah.
see.
it's
Or
really nice.
Serenity.
Or
Yes.
Serenity. They're both there if you want to
Yeah,
smell them.
those are just, everybody loves those.
Yeah. With balance.
Nina, do you have anything to share?
Yeah,
Nina wonderfully massages everyone's feet in her prenatals, I've heard.
I don't know how to make my picture come on, so
Oh, are you on your phone?
no, I'm on my iPad.
Go all the way
Um,
down to the bottom of the screen and it'll pop up. There'll be a black strip that
bar.
pops up.
Oops, now you're not even there. Okay, there's the black bar, but what do I say?
You go
Video?
down to video and hit video.
Oh, start video.
There.
Oh, okay, there we go. Hi.
Yay. Hi.
Hey, Nina.
I missed the whole lecture, but I've been using essential oils for years and years. Some doTERRAs. I started with Young Living years ago. So, but there's one thing I totally caution mothers about, the families, is that right after the birth, I do not want essential oils being diffused, because it can really interfere with the respiratory transition for the baby and create, tachypnea for a period of time. That why cause that if you can avoid it? So I would just say have caution, around those diffusers at the time of delivery. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned that. Thank you so much. I've been doing this for a year and a half, and I definitely for the first 6 months was like doTERRA oils all the way. And then as I learn and that mom smelling baby's head right after birth and baby smelling mom after birth, I've stopped doing that. So I turn off the diffuser right before mom pushes, and we do not have a diffuser on, and we go to these or the cotton balls. So these nasal inhalers or the cotton balls. So where just mom alone can breathe into it if she needs like peppermint. But yeah, after delivery, there's absolutely no oils in the room. And you really don't need them unless mom's like nauseous, and we could always give her a little bottle to inhale. Yeah. But that's a great point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing it, Sharon.
Thank you, ladies, for all you do. Exciting.
Thank you, Albina.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Albina.
You're so welcome, Tosh.
Hi, everyone. Thank you
Aloha.
for joining. And I'll upload this video somewhere so that you guys can share it. And Nina, I'll send it to you, or Margaret can send it to you so you can watch the whole thing. It was wonderful. Thanks so much for your time, Albina, and we'll talk again soon. Reach out anytime if you guys have any questions.
Great.
So welcome.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
Aloha, ladies.
Aloha.
Bye.